So today morning we dealt with this much section, right? It's a EMF. Then we dealt with terminal voltage and internal resistance, and we derived an equation like this: V is equal to E minus IR, using a numerical way or a numerical problem section, right? So this equation we are going to generate by actual way. That is, if you are asked this equation or generate this relationship between terminal voltage and EMF, you are not supposed to explain it through this numerical method. I introduced this numerical method to make you guys understand that EMF, which suppose it was 12 volt, doesn't reach the actual voltage or when you connect it to an external circuit, and that voltage in an external circuit is known as terminal voltage, right? So why that is an excess, suppose the EMF was 12 volt, then at least a 4 volt might be lost due to its own internal resistance, which is small r. So the voltage which can rise in the terminals of an external circuit or the terminals of the cell itself when it is connected to an external circuit is 8 volts. So there will be a reduction in voltage. Now I am going to explain the entire scenario using a physics way, right, or circuit way. Now let us consider a circuit like this. It is having a supply like this and an internal resistance R. Guys, sorry, I will use a whitener here. Your cell is not supposed to have anything in between, right? Now this supply is having an internal resistance R, right? Now does it have current flow? Obviously it has a current flow. This is the current direction. It goes from positive. Suppose that means this current is supposed to consider or flow in this direction, right, in order to complete the circuit. So in this direction the I will be here. Let the terminals of the cell be A and B. Now, and I am going to consider the path, that is, I am going to move from B to A. That is my path. I am going to move. I am not considering the path of current. I am saying I am going to, or I am to looking from the terminal from B to A. This much clear? Now, while I am moving from B to A, where is the potential high? VB, right, is there, and there is VA, that is potential at B and potential at A. Now as the current is flowing from B to A, it indicates the potential at VB is greater than potential at VA. That means the potential was very high at B, then goes on reducing, and it reduced when it reaches way A or point A, indicates there has been some potential drop. I am repeating, potential was very high at B. While it moved from B to A, the potential reduced. That's what it indicates when VB is greater than VA. So there was a potential drop as in the path from B to A. Now that is VB was there. Now there was a potential drop, and that potential drop is due to this internal resistance, right? And the potential at internal resistance will be I into R. This much clear? Right. So the potential VB minus VR has, or IR has come up. So let this EMF be E. Right. Now I have reached the cell. Now from cell I am moving from negative terminal to positive terminal. Negative terminal means it is having lower potential to higher potential, right? That is, I am moving from lower energy to higher energy. That means I am gaining. Right, the voltage is increasing, so I will write it as plus E. This and all plus minus etc. will deal or will study detailedly in the case of Kirchhoff's law, but just understand how it is moving. Clear? Now moving from negative to positive, lower potential to higher potential is a good thing. Higher potential to lower potential is negative, is said to be a loss. This much clear? Now it has reached from E and then it is reaching VA. Right, VA is having lesser potential, right? So I will write it as minus VA is equal to 0. Clear? So when I rearrange it, it will be VA minus VB is equal to E minus IR. Just rearrange it. E, let it be here, minus IR. Then VA goes here, VB goes here. So you will get VA minus VB is equal to E minus IR. Now what is VA minus VB? That is the potential difference between two terminals of the cell. So I can say that is delta V, or I can say potential difference. and that potential difference, if we had connected to an external circuit, this point B, this is point A, or I can say that is the terminal voltage. So I can write terminal voltage V is equal to E minus IR. This is the same equation as that of the which we dealt or which we derived using numerical question. Now another equation which you have to deal with or you have to know in the case of terminal voltage. I'm going to draw a circuit, guys. Same circuit which we drawn earlier. It's having an internal resistance R. This is the external circuit, EMF E, and a current is flowing through here. Let this terminal be A and B. Now we know that this terminal voltage, that is across this resistance, right? Across this resistance, right? Now that is equal to I, that is a current flowing through it, and this R external. That's this external circuit, right? Now let this equation, let us make this one as 1. Right. Now what happens when I substitute this equation here? So it becomes E minus IR is equal to I into R external. I can bring I common. So it becomes I into R plus R external. This is something which you know. And as I, total current, is equal to total supply by equivalent resistance. These two are in series. Similarly, you got the equation, right? This is also a equation when you consider the internal resistance. This much is clear. That is current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. How many resistances are there? 2 resistances, and they are in series. Clear? Right. Now let's move on, guys. We'll deal with the next main topic, which is Kirchhoff's law. That is, why do we introduce a section called Kirchhoff's law? It's as you can hear or understand, it's a law which has been introduced to solve circuits, guys. Sometimes when you look into the circuit, it might not have a single cell. It might be having more than 2 or more than 3 types of cells, and they might not be connected in a peculiar way or a particular way. Sometimes you can see that positive terminal is connected to the negative terminal of another cell, or it can be positive and positive connection. One cell might be 20 volt, the other might be 10 volt, and the cell or the circuit might consist of resistor, inductor will you learn later on, but resistor, capacitor, etc. And you can never understand whether a circuit is series or parallel. In that condition, Kirchhoff's 2 laws helps you. And we have dealt with Kirchhoff's both laws in capacitor circuit section also, but there we dealt it only in I would say 10% only was learned there. Now I will learn or teach you guys how it actually has to be done, and it is a long section, guys. Without understanding the Kirchhoff's voltage law or Kirchhoff's current law, it is very, very difficult to understand the circuit solving further. That is, now you have to deal with Wheatstone's bridge. I just told how to do a Wheatstone's bridge type of circuit, but how it came out, how this balancing etc. comes up, will be dealt later on, or will be dealt only after Kirchhoff's voltage rule is taught. This much clear? Now let's move on with Kirchhoff's first law, which you know its name is Kirchhoff's current law, or I can say KCL, and there is another name for it, that is junction rule. So what we will telling, let's write the heading as what? Kirchhoff's first rule, or I can say KCL, or it is junction rule. These and all are named for the same theorem, or I can say same rule. So we have learned the same the topic previously. I am just repeating the statement. That is, at any junction, the sum of current entering the junction is equal to the sum of current leaving the junction. So let's see, what is a junction? First, guys, junction is something where 3 or more wires meet. See, suppose let us consider this point. It is a junction because I'm going to consider 3 wires are going to be connected to this single point. So for me, or as per me, or as per Kirchhoff, this is a junction. So A is a junction. See, suppose there are 2 wires connected and they are forming, this doesn't become a junction. This is known as node, guys. What? Node. It is said to be node. So when does a junction come up? When 3 or more wires come to form a one singular connection, that becomes a junction. This much should be very, very clear. node and junction should not be confused. Node to junction more than 3. Clear? Right, 3 or more. Okay, now let us consider this example itself. See, 2 ampere current is going in and 3 ampere current is going in. So obviously this section should be what? These two are in, then this section should be out. And how much current should be there? 5 ampere. See, sum of current, that is 3 plus 2 entering a junction should be equal to sum of current leaving the junction. Clear? Very easy to understand this theorem. So suppose we draw another circuit. Let's make it a complicated one. This is a resistor, this is a supply, and there is another resistor, another resistor, another resistor, and there is a supply again. Here also I can consider same. Suppose I say how much? Let this be 3 ampere, right? And let this be 4 ampere, and let this be 5 ampere, right? So 7 ampere is coming in, 5 ampere is going out, means how many ampere has to still go out? 2 ampere. Simple. So 3 plus 4 is equal to 5 plus 2. The amount of current coming in is equal to the amount of current leaving out. Is it visible, guys? This is something which you understand earlier. I don't think I have to repeat. Something has to be explained regarding the circuit, guys, along with the Kirchhoff's law. So let's move on. Suppose I'm going to draw a circuit like this. This is your A terminal, B and C. Let's make like this. And there is a resistor here. Let's make there a supply here. Simple circuit, right? So that's D, this is E, and this is F. Right, this is a simple circuit. Right. Out of this, which is junction? Is it A junction? No, it is not a junction. C? No. So either F or D is not a junction, but point B, or this B and this E. Right? These two are junctions. Let's make that clear. What is F or A? It is node. It's a node. This one is a node. Clear? Now, this is, don't confuse the node in of which you learned in waves and oscillations, guys. It's different. Okay. Now we can state the rule. Now we are going to state the same rule in a different way. That is, the algebraic sum of the total current in a junction is 0. That is, if you consider the junction, the total current inside that junction or coming to the junction is 0. Suppose in this circuit this is B, right? And this is supposed to be the current. So if the current is going like this, and from this point it has split like this, right? Obviously it has to split. Now the current is coming here, so it sees two paths. Let me name this current as I, and this current is I1, and this current is I2, right? So as per the junction rule, it is coming in, I will take it as positive, let's say. Leaving, I'm going to take it as minus, so it is minus. It is usually like that, when the leaving current is usually taken as negative. Similarly, as per the junction, I2 is also leaving, sorry, I1 is also leaving. So it is I minus I2 minus I1 is equal to 0. See, let's rearrange it. What will be? I1 plus I2, right? This is something which you know in this form, right? Amount of current in is equal to the amount of current leaving, right? So I can also rearrange the same to say that amount of total or I can say algebraic sum of total current in a junction is 0. There is two ways of stating the same law. Both of them are correct. Clear? I can say in a sense it is like a conservation of charge, right? Amount of the charge is neither created or destroyed, it is only changed from one form to another, right? So similarly the current is not created or destroyed, it is only changed from one form to another. What is one form to another means? The some current is coming, the same current is leaving. Clear? Right. Now this is a very small section, guys, and Kirchhoff's current law in circuit solving is used very least way, but it is very important also, right? It's not, doesn't make complicated stuffs, right? So let's move on to the most complicated circuit section, which is Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is KVL, and there is it is also known as loop rule. So I hope you understand what is loop. That is, if I can say a circle is a loop. It starts it ends, right? So before going to Kirchhoff's loop rule, you have to understand the Kirchhoff's current law thoroughly. Clear?